Sports betting fans, huge hello. Your sports betting advisor Tips and Streams is here again. COVID-19 instances have increased in the NBA this month, affecting the availability of dozens of players and forcing the league to postpone many games. Outbreaks are being dealt with by a number of teams. It's still unclear how many games will be played today. But we're going with what's hot right now. What do we have today? We have predictions for 9 NBA games for December 29th. Before we get started, go to tipsandstreams.me and sign up for our newsletter to receive our daily sports betting predictions in your inbox, or subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep up to date with all our betting tips and picks. So, let's get started. The opening matchup pits New York Knicks versus Detroit Pistons. The Knicks have been in good form recently, winning 4 of their last 6 games, and they will be looking for their third consecutive win after defeating the Timberwolves 96-88 on the road. They score 106 points per game on 43.8% shooting and allow 106.8 points per game on 44.1% shooting. The Knicks are 9-3 ATS in their past 12 games against teams with a losing home record, and 5-2 ATS in their last 7 away games against teams with a losing home record. Following their 144-109 loss against the Spurs on the road, the Pistons have lost 16 of their last 17 games. Grant has missed 7 games, and the Pistons are averaging 103.5 points per 100 possessions while giving up 112.8. They are averaging 100.7 points per game on 41.4% shooting while allowing 110.5 points per game on 47.8% shooting. The Knicks are coming off a back-to-back and have been abysmal this season, but betting on the Pistons isn't an option. Play New York Knicks minus 5.5. The next game is Charlotte Hornets versus Indiana Pacers. The Hornets have been in decent form, having split their past 8 games, and will be looking for their third consecutive win following a 123-99 home triumph against the Rockets. They've covered 7 of the 10 topics. However, they rank 28th in defensive efficiency this season, allowing 117.4 points per 100 possessions, and they rank 29th on the road. Overall, they're averaging 115.1 points on 46.8% shooting while allowing 116.3 points on 46.8% shooting. The Pacers have been in a slump, losing 4 of their last 6 games, and they'll be aiming to rebound following a 113-105 away defeat to the Bulls. The Pacers were 28th in defensive efficiency over this time frame, allowing 116.4 possessions per 100. They are averaging 107.8 points per game on 45.9% shooting while allowing 107.2 points per game on 46% shooting. The Hornets have some momentum heading into this game, and I believe they can cover the spread, but in this matchup, I choose to play points. Play Hornets versus Pacers over 227.5. The next game is Los Angeles Clippers versus Boston Celtics. The Clippers have lost 5 of their last 6 games and will be looking to stop a 2-game losing streak after being thrashed by the Nets in a 124-108 home loss. They are 29th in offensive efficiency this season, scoring 103.4 points per 100 possessions while allowing 111.3 points per 100 possessions on defense. They are averaging 105.4 points per possession on 44.9% shooting while allowing 105.3 points per possession on 44.4% shooting. The Celtics have been in a terrible funk recently, having lost 7 of their last 10 games overall, and they'll be looking to avoid a third consecutive loss following a disappointing 108-103 away loss to the Timberwolves. The Celtics have a superior net rating than the Clippers, scoring 109 points per 100 possessions and conceding 109 points per 100 possessions. They're averaging 108.4 points per game on 44.3% shooting while allowing 107.4 points per game on 44.3% shooting. The Clippers are still without their top players, and their last 5 games have been lost by an average of 5.6 points. Play Boston Celtics minus 4.5. The next game is Atlanta Hawks versus Chicago Bulls. The Hawks have lost 6 of their last 8 games and will be looking to avoid a third consecutive defeat after being hammered 130-118 by the Bulls home lost. The Hawks are currently ranked 26th in defensive efficiency, allowing 114.9 points per 100 possessions. They are averaging 110.1 points per game on 45.9% shooting while allowing 109.7 points per game on 45.8% shooting. The Bulls have been in good form and will be looking to extend their 4-game winning run after defeating the Hawks. During this period, the Bulls had the greatest offensive efficiency, averaging 124.9 points per 100 possessions. They are averaging 110.1 points per possession on 47.1% shooting while allowing 106.6 points per possession on 45.3% shooting. It's usually difficult to beat the same club twice in a row, but I'm not confident in the Hawks' ability to rebound, especially because they've been suffering for so long. Play Chicago Bulls at -8.5. The next game is Los Angeles Lakers vs Memphis Grizzlies. Memphis has won 2 of 3 games on the road with a back-to-back 114-113 triumph against the Phoenix Suns. The Grizzlies finished 7th in offensive efficiency on the trip, averaging 116.6 points per 100 possessions. They're averaging 111.1 points per game on 45.2% shooting while allowing 108.6 points per game on 45.7% shooting. After facing the Rockets in Houston, the Lakers are on a back-to-back. They've lost 6 of their last 10 games, but they'll be feeling better after ending a 5-game losing streak with a 132-123 road victory. Prior to their triumph, the Lakers were on a 5-game losing skid and ranked worst in offensive efficiency, scoring 99.4 points per 100 possessions. Under normal conditions, the Memphis Grizzlies should be a considerably bigger favorite, especially with a day off and home court advantage against the Lakers, who have 2 games in a row. This is almost certainly a staged game. Play Los Angeles Lakers at +4.5. The next game is Miami Heat vs San Antonio Spurs. The Heat have won 8 of their last 10 games and will be looking for their 5th straight victory after defeating the Wizards 119-112 at home. The Heat were 4th in defensive efficiency in those 10 games, allowing 104.9 points per 100 possessions. They are averaging 107 points per game on 46% shooting while allowing 103.1 points per game on 43.9% shooting. The Spurs have been in excellent form, winning 4 of their last 6 games, and they will be looking to rebound after having their 3-game winning streak snapped at home by the Jazz in a 110-104 setback. Spurs have now covered 4 straight games. The Spurs were 7th in offensive efficiency during this time, averaging 118.4 points per 100 possessions. On defense, San Antonio ranks 2nd in the league, allowing 99.8 points per 100 possessions. They are averaging 111.5 points per possession on 47.1% shooting while allowing 109.8 points per possession on 46% shooting. Because this should be a competitive game, I pick a side with a day off and a home court advantage. Play San Antonio Spurs at -2.5. The next game is Oklahoma City Thunder vs Phoenix Suns. The Thunder have been in good form recently, winning 4 of their last 6 games, but they'll be looking to rebound in this one after losing 117-111 on the road to the Kings. They are currently ranked 4th in defensive efficiency, allowing 105.7 points per 100 possessions. They're averaging 100.1 points per game on 41.5% shooting while allowing 107.7 points per game on 44.4% shooting. The Suns have been the league's benchmark, winning 26 of their first 33 games overall, but they'll be trying to end a 2-game losing streak after falling to the Grizzlies in a 114-113 home loss. They've lost 2 of their 3 games at home this season, failing to cover all 3. The Suns were 18th in defensive efficiency during this time frame, allowing 112.6 points per 100 possessions. They are averaging 111.7 points per game on 47.7% shooting while allowing 104.7 points per game on 43.7% shooting. On the low, the Thunder have enjoyed a lot of success. Play Oklahoma City Thunder +14.5. The next game is Utah Jazz vs Portland Trail Blazers. The Jazz have won 12 of their last 14 games and will be looking for their 5th straight victory after defeating the Spurs in a 110-104 road triumph. 6 games in a row, the Jazz have failed to cover the spread. The Jazz were 10th in defensive efficiency during this time period, allowing 108.9 points per 100 possessions. The Utah Jazz, averaging 115.8 points per possession on 47.7% shooting while allowing 105.6 points per possession on 44.2% shooting. The Blazers have lost 9 of their last 11 games and will be looking to avoid a third consecutive defeat after being thrashed by the Mavericks 132-117 at home. In that 10-game span, Portland ranks 26th in defensive efficiency, allowing 116.6 points per 100 possessions. The Blazers are averaging 108.4 points per possession on 45.1% shooting while allowing 111.7 points per possession on 47.4% shooting. Although the Utah Jazz are an obvious favorite in this game, bookmakers only offer them a -6.5 advantage. Although the Utah Jazz are the overwhelming favorite in this game, bookmakers only give them a -6.5 advantage. This smells like a planned game. Play Portland Trail Blazers and Utah Jazz over 227.5. The last game for today is Dallas Mavericks vs Sacramento Kings. Dallas had lost 4 of their previous 5 games before beating the Portland Trail Blazers 132-117 on the road. 4 of the 5 games have ended in a tie. During this time, the Mavericks averaged 116.1 points per 100 possessions while giving up 113.6. They are averaging 105.6 points per game on 44.6% shooting while allowing 105.5 points per game on 46.5% shooting. After facing the Oklahoma City Thunder, Sacramento is on a back-to-back. The Kings are coming off a big win over the Thunder last night. They have lost 7 of their previous 9 games, dropping their past 5 by an average of 13.6 points and not playing any defense. In back-to-back games, they have failed to cover 4 of 6. The Kings are averaging 109.9 points per game on 45.2% shooting while allowing 114.4 points per game on 46.9% shooting. After a 132-117 away win over the Portland Trail Blazers, Dallas snapped a 2-game losing run. On this road trip, the Mavericks have scored 123.4 points per 100 possessions while allowing 117.3. The Dallas Mavericks are hurting and missing important players, but they've found a way to win despite it. I'll go with the squad that has the most rest, which should be important given how frequently these rosters change. Play Dallas Mavericks. Guys, that would be all. Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and newsletter. See you tomorrow.